Dear God, your presence graces the air, and soon everyone will see.
Allô tout le monde, c'est Alyssia du festival Fantasia. Toute l'équipe est super excitée de présenter la sortie canadienne du film Sainte-Maud en collaboration avec Elevation Pictures et Entrevue Films. Pour vous donner un petit aperçu, voici notre entrevue exclusive avec la réalisatrice Rose Glass. Well, hello, Rose. Nice to talk to you today. Very happy to have you on Zoom for a little interview about your new film, which we are super excited to be presenting to all of Canada starting this week. You wrote and directed this film. It's your first feature, correct?
Yeah.
So can you just begin by telling me more about the genesis of the project, how the story came about?
I think it's an idea that I started coming up with just as I was finishing film school at the National Film and Television School in 2014. And then it took a few years sort of developing it and working on it in like my spare time before we got it properly in development with Film 4. And then, we shot it in like 2018. The initial hook that I came up with that I thought might be interesting was to do a film which was basically a two-hander between a woman and a voice in her head. And quite quickly that voice became God. And I think the initial plan had been to for God to basically be a second character, and you'd have his voice, hearing his voice talking to Maud throughout the whole film. Quite quickly that started to feel a bit sort of gimmicky, and I think as I sort of started to flesh out the character a bit more and wonder about what else was going on in her life, and why is it that the main relationship in her life is with this voice in her head and nobody else seems to know about it, or do they? And it's ended up kind of just tapping into a lot of stuff that I think I'm interested in. And
Morvid Clark's performance is so intense and sometimes very physical. How did you pick her for the role? What did you see in her that really made you click?
So she sent us a tape at first, and she just had this completely haunting sort of expression, and just one of those people that is just very, magnetic, and you want to watch, and it feels that she can convey a huge amount whilst doing, appearing to do very little, just
absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and she's a real sort of chameleon. Like, her range is mad. And yeah, we just had the best time working together. Her and Jennifer Reilly, who plays Amanda, her patient, they're both just really fun and chilled, and yeah, all the physical stuff's great. I'm just like, get on the floor, ride the ride. So
the film is a very scary story about, faith, religion, being a savior kind of narrative. I don't know, I noticed a few nods to maybe The Exorcist or Stephen King-ish, like Carrie type characters in there. What were your inspirations as a director?
It's really weird. Honestly, neither of those two films, but I'm always really embarrassed because after it was pointed out to me, like, the thing and the vomiting and the levitating, I was like, oh, yeah. They weren't not consciously.
It's that horror thing that you just have.
If it reminds anybody of Carrie or The Exorcist, I'm obviously very happy with that because they're amazing films. But for me, the stuff I was thinking about a bit more consciously was Repulsion, Rosemary's Baby, Through a Glass Darkly, The Silence, some sort of early Bergman films. Chamber Piece, kind of quite contained, weird psychological dramas where, pressure cooker kind of social situations between people in these sort of confined spaces. And I think I told Morvid to watch most of those. Actually, maybe I think I gave her a list of films to watch just so her and Jennifer kind of had a rough idea of the sort of tone that the film would be in, because I figured some of the stuff they have to do is a bit sort of silly and weird.
I'm very excited for our festival audience, especially because they're so passionate and enthusiastic about genre film in general, and I know they've been waiting for this one for a long time, so I'm excited to see what the reaction will be from them.
I hope they like it.
I'm sure they'll like. I liked it a lot. Well, thank you so much for talking to me today. I really hope to meet you in person eventually at the festival.
Me too.
Hopefully one day.
I would love to come sometime. Yeah, that's the annoying thing. It's like, this is all once in a lifetime. But maybe I would have spent the last year getting to visit cool places and do festivals. But anyway, poor me, isn't that terrible?
I'm optimistic that it's going to happen. Festivals will be back.
Yes, can't wait. Well, I hope the festival goes wonderfully, and thanks for talking to me.
Thank you.
What if I'm getting it all wrong?